Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being a supporter of this channel. I want us to go straight to Kitui. Kenya Kwanza team led by Deputy President William Ruto, Johnston Muthama, and Mweke, who was the Deputy Governor in Nairobi when Kidero was the governor, were campaigning in Kitui. And there is something that happened there, that a video that has been trending, because the team that mobilized seemed to have mobilized Kitui University students just to make sure that the numbers could actually be found. In this channel, I've always given you the strategy that politicians use on pulling the crowd. And you need the crowd for perception, not for any other reason. Key to that visit, that tour in Kitui, the number of there was no elected member of parliament that was seen there. The number of MCS that were there were less than 5, and the majority of them did not come from Kitui. So the only formidable leader who was there was Mweke and Johnston Muthama. And for me, I was looking at that tour critical, because I think if William Ruto was going to show, or if he was going to find the area seamless, then it was going to be an uphill task for Charity Ngilu and Kalonzo Musyoka, because Kalonzo also comes from Kitui, to see what exactly is going on. Now, I want you to watch this video because it's going to inform our analysis. In this video, and what I want you to pay attention to, is the audience in front of the car where Deputy President is addressing. Secondly, I want you to look at the reaction of the audience when Ruto was talking. And thirdly, look at behind William Ruto, the audience behind William Ruto, leave alone the people that is addressing in front of him. And you are going to see what exactly William Ruto's reception in Kitui was like. And of essence, we are going to diverge more on this video. So check at it. So one thing, I watched this video more than 3 times. And one thing I realized is the audience in front of the car was the classified audience. That is the audience we normally say they are paid, they are facilitated, and they are instructed, they are coached on what to do. If you look at when Ruto was talking, the reaction from the audience was not very much convincing. If you look at the people that were behind, because for me, there is something I was looking at. If you look at the students that were in front of the car, those were just university students, of which I want to believe that majority of them are not from Kitui. Majority of them are from the other parts of the country. So those are not Kitui voters. Kitui voters are the women and the people that we were seeing around, just standing by the roadside. Those are the Kitui voters. And so they did not come close. So one question that emerged here is this: who facilitated these fellas there, or who mobilized them there? Because if it was just an impromptu visit that William Ruto went there and the students just piled up, then note that all the Kitui University students are the ones that will be in front of the car. It will be a matchup. Secondly, when he's talking, why was that push for money? You know, they actually said that they want money, and DP Ruto was cornered and they had to give them money. In fact, he used one of them there, Brayo. So by the time he mentioned Brayo, that something ran to my mind that maybe he had already met the Brayo, or someone from Kitui can tell us. I think that Brayo might be a student leader there. And so he had already met with the team from the Kitui University who mobilized that team to go and attend that rally. Now we want to look at it critically. Now look at this second bit, because this is the moment when Mudhama was talking, and I think he just left the car and he went just to sit because, of course, the rally was coming to an end. And these fellas just walked away and, in fact, were following him. Look at what that tells me from where I'm sitting is that the currency of engagement with the Kitui voters in that rally, the catch was the money. Should that be worrying? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. We are going to pursue both. So if you look at it, these fellas won't listen to him because of money. Then there is some few things that we want to interpret from these videos, from these two videos, because it is what is going to help us inform. And rather, at the end of it, we will find out whether this should be a worrying call to DP Ruto, or what exactly does this portray in Kenya Kwanza campaigns. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to humbly request you, kindly subscribe to our channel, and more importantly also, click the notification bell just above the subscription button there. Then also, you can give us your feedback. What do you think of this audience that DP Ruto was addressing in Kitui? One thing, the choice of that audience. So the Kitui University students, two ways. One, they were mobilized, or they just came there and it was just impromptu. They just knew that DP Ruto was around town, so they just went there. But the catch is there was someone who DP Ruto knew there. And in fact, those students kept on pointing at, I think one of them, I think it was a student leader there, to talk at that rally. That tells you that that team was mobilized. So the question is, why did they go to mobilize university students? If they wanted to address university students, I think Raila was once in Meru and he went to Chuka University, I think Meru University, and addressed university students. I think DP Ruto will just seek audience with this team and walk to the school. And one thing could mean is that the team that they could mobilize there do not really receive them, or the reception is not that much convincing. That is why they had to move and bring the university students there. Number two is the push for money. So if there is something that DP Ruto has been avoiding, is dishing money. I think when he attended an event in Vihiga, he mentioned that he was not now going to give money. But that did not mean, I say that was not conclusive. And there is something I want to note here. If there is something that William Ruto's competitors are underestimating in this election, is his financial capability, or his ability to use money. It is not very easy for you to just be in a rally and this situation arises, then you say, I'm going to give 300,000. You know, the use of money for me, sometimes on the other side, they question where the money is coming from. But I also feel like the use of money, it cannot be underrated in this election. The reason being is this. There are a clique of people in this country that have felt that there is nothing government can give them. So what is only ringing in their mind is the best way to gain from politicians during this electioneering period is to ask for money. That is something that is there. So, but again, it should also worry DP Ruto in this way. These people are not interested in what he wants to say. Because when he was giving his speech, no one cared. And that is why I was telling you, I wanted you to look at their interaction space between him and the audience when they were talking, even before he mentioned about the issue of money. Because they pushed him. They were there not even to listen to what he's saying, but to listen to the issue, to get the issue of money. Now, the reason I'm saying this is this. With the last tool that DP Ruto will use in this country to win the August 8th general election, but I can tell you, for him, it's a do or die is use of money. Recently, I saw, I think, Gadoni wa Mushomba dishing out, giving out some wheelbarrows and mkokotenis somewhere in Kiambu. And it was in the spirit of the hustler nation. That was use of money. So that is something that I think should worry the Azimio team. But on DP Ruto, is it sustainable? That is the question. The other thing is this: Kenyans seems to be, they don't care. They are tired. You say your thing, you go. There is a disconnect between Ruto's message and what people wants to hear. That one, there is a disconnect. And let me say this. I am on record mentioning that trying to mix the anger and his political message in terms of what he stands for as a presidential candidate is becoming a problem. When Uhuru spoke about the impeachment, he was in Kilifi and now pointing at the camera was harsh, telling the president, you did this. He was actually addressing the president in Kilifi. So, and I realized that in while he was in Kitui, he actually kept off that conversation. He just did it in not Kilifi, I think it was in Kwale yesterday. So today, while he was in Kilifi, in Kitui, he kept off that conversation. The thing is this, the best tool, the political messaging of a politician is just to tell people, give people hope. That's where Raila cuts the line. I can show you. That's where Raila cuts the line. When you tell people about the 6,000, they get it. You personalize it. You tell people what is it. When you talk about how you're going to help the single mothers, it is a personalized. And if you listen to the way he delivers it, he says that umepata mtu amekudanganya mkacha mtoto. You know, that is relational. You are giving a single mother hope. So what this portrays to William Ruto team, and this is what they need to look at, is their messaging. The revenge message, or going to a rally and addressing the president, going to a rally, addressing how Raila is a project, I think that do not work. That is not auguring with the communities in this country. That is more of a political affair. I think you should do that in Nairobi. But when you are out of Nairobi, it's totally different thing. Lastly, why do you think Ruto is facing that disconnect in Kitui? Why do you think Kitui is slippery? You cannot underestimate the presence of Kalonzo Musyoka and Charity Ngilu in Azimio la Umoja. You cannot underestimate those two. They come from that place. Both, even though Kalonzo has a candidate seeking governor there, and Charity Ngilu is a strong woman behind Raila Odinga, she's been working with Raila Odinga all through, and she's been seen as a very strong candidate in that place. So that is why when Mweke spoke there and was calling Charity Ngilu Shosho, I was like, okay, is this now politics? So that's what is happening there. They are not. They feel like they may be belonging more to Azimio than the Kenya Kwanza. That's why the reception there was not that much convincing. His popularity there is low. Lastly, if there is a place that William Ruto have a problem is these three counties of Machakos, Machakos, Makueni, and Kitui. There are three powerful people around there. Mudhama, Machakos, Makueni deputy governor, I've forgotten the name, then Mweke is from Kitui. Mweke is seeking the governor's seat, which he knows he cannot defeat this Kalonzo and Charity Ngilu side, unless apite katikati if there is something like that. But then, what this shows you is he is lacking leaders that are popular on ground, that can mobilize, that are respected there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my analysis, and I'm done. What do you think about picking comrades to attend a rally just to add numbers? Tuonane baadaye.